Hey, this is Prac with iRepairMD. Today we're going to be looking at the simple screen placement for the Samsung Galaxy S3, and this is the marble blue one. I guess it's called pebble blue, and as you can see, it's been dropped, although it's been dropped, the digitizer still seemed to work. So one of the requirements for changing a Samsung Galaxy S3 screen is that if the digitizer still works, all you have to do is remove the glass. So what I'm going to show you guys how to do today is how to safely remove the glass and put in a new Gorilla Glass, Samsung Gorilla Glass, which I have also on my eBay store. This particular glass is a little more expensive than the iPhone. It is $35 a piece, and it's genuine Samsung. And like always, we're always going to start off with a little heat. So we're going to go ahead and run the heat gun in. What we want to do is actually just add enough heat so you can lift the top glass off the phone without actually removing this is a thin film similar to the iPhone 5, and I will show you as I remove this. When you want to do something like this, just remove the glass and leave the film. You want to look for an area, like I said, when you do glass, you want to look for an area that has the most breakage, so you can start just flaking off and saving the film underneath so you don't damage the digitizer. So for me, I'm going for the edges right here, and I want to slowly remove all the glass out of the way. Okay, taking the glass out of Samsung Galaxy S3 is always a little tricky. Just have to take your time on it, and what you need to do is have a clean razor and go to the broken area first and be very cautious. It might take up to an hour to replace this, depending on how much you want to charge, but I do not want to lift the film until I remove the glass, or else what you're going to have is the digitizer peeling off and you're going to damage the whole display. So take your time and slowly just remove the glass, just shaving it off with a clean razor. Okay guys, you should notice it's never easy to do one of these screens. You have to take your time and apply not too much heat, because if you put too much heat, it'll actually go to the LCD down the back behind there, the Super AMOLED display. It can easily burn, so don't want to do that. Too much heat will change the color, will depolarize some of the areas of the screen. So what I'm doing now is I want to apply some more heat, and then I'm just going to get my razor underneath and start shaving it off. Just apply enough heat to loosen the adhesive that the glass and the film is stuck to, but you don't want to get too hot. Rule of thumb is if your hands are really hot, then you put too much heat. So now what you do is underneath, going parallel from the display, you run the razor. I prefer the flat razor. It's easier to work with. I don't think you can do this with an X-Acto and get it as successful as I have so far with this. This again is not an easy repair. You got to be careful. This razor is extremely sharp, so you don't want to slice your fingers in the process. I've done it so many times that I have the feel of this. That's why I prefer this particular razor, because I've been cut by it so many times. I'm used to it now. I know how to avoid it. I know when it's about to slip. So you have to just be really careful. And you see how I'm taking my time. I'm slowly going in, just separating the glass from the adhesive. Okay, so now it's hard to work a little bit, so I want to apply some more heat right there. Okay. Heat is loosening up that part of the adhesive. I'm gonna run it through. And you don't expect to get it off the first time. Don't expect it to get off the first time. Just need to slowly, methodically work your way through it. This is kind of like surgery. And if you play your cards right and you do the right repair, you might just make as much as a surgeon. These kind of repairs. Alright. So now you can almost take it off. See, now don't force it off, let it come off on its own. So you just repeat the step for every vein right there. Okay. In some cases, if the glass is too big, if the glass is too big for the razor, I use this little, this is a flat clay tool, clay forming tool. You can get it from pretty much any craft store. And I use it because it's thin. Apply some heat. Okay. And then I just rock it back and forth. So I rock this tool here, this little metal sheet back and forth. Don't want to put too much pressure downward. I'm just pushing sideways. Too much pressure downward, you're going to damage the digitizer underneath. So now I'm just rocking it. Sometimes if you can't get this thing in because it's a little thicker than the razor's edge, you can use the razor to start it off and then make enough room. You can use this, stick this in following the razor. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and actually use this a little higher here, pick it up. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this until I am done with the glass. Okay, so in some cases, if you can get the clay tool to go underneath the small shrapnel, it's fairly easy. Be aware that once you remove the glass, now the border is raised, so you don't want these plastic edge to be scrubbing on the edge of the screen because it's made out of, it's like a plastic material, it easily scratch. So again, be very cognitive. Make sure you don't get the edge scratched up, okay? Okay, so now I'm applying heat, and now as you see, I'm moving this, being very careful not to touch the edge because I don't want to scratch the edge. Slowly work it, don't force it in, just take your time, move it in and out, and then pull the glass as they come off. Okay, apply more heat. With this one, you can actually apply a little more heat because of the metal piece is actually serving as a heat shield. So your glass underneath is not going to be damaged. But not too much heat though. Retracting it. Be very careful. You see, I'm not hitting the edge. So now go ahead and pull these off as they come off. As you can see, come off fairly easy now because the majority of the glue is already removed. So these, and as I'm doing this, I'm wearing a safety glass. You guys, I don't recommend anybody, any little kids, to do this because it's definitely dangerous. You're playing with sharp glass. I'm not wearing gloves. I'm so used to this. I guess my fingers have probably built some kind of natural armor against broken glass. Okay, so now going in with a razor on top of this right now. I'm going to run the razor edge side through, like so. And just shave this off. And again, being very cognitive of where the edge is. Okay. Okay, this is my ceremonious last piece. I always show footage of my last piece of glass I'm removing. Alright. So now we're removing the last glass. It's not a sprint. Just take your time. Sometimes you get all the way to the final end and you rush it, and then you just ruin an hour worth of work. So now this has completely come off. There you go. Last piece has completely come off. Alright, so now I want to plug this in to test to see if the digitizer still works and the LCD still works. Okay, so now, as you can see, the screen is perfectly working. Gotta wait for the screen to completely come on to test out the digitizer. Might take a little time, so I'm just gonna save the memory on my card here, and I'm gonna cut straight to it. So I'm gonna do some movie magic with you guys. Okay, now the screen's up. Now we're gonna test the digitizer, and as you see, the digitizer is working, except I don't know the password. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to peel this off safely. So apply some heat from the top. The reason why I'm doing it from the top is because the bottom does have some kind of lit area. Right, get underneath this with a razor, and now stop using the razor because you're going to get to the actual glass now. See, I'm peeling off the actual film. Take your time, don't rush it. Okay, don't want to stain this either, so I'm pulling it off very slowly. Okay, and see right here, this is where the lit buttons are. I'm going to put it in place, and now we're going to put the glass on. Okay, so now got my Samsung glass right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put it on. I'm going to peel off the back, exposed area. Okay, and the way I want to put this is I'm actually going to be very careful, making sure I place the home button backlight area on first. And so now add subtle pressure on this and peel this off. Apply slow pressure around. Okay, you notice I didn't put the my UV bonding adhesive on the right contact with this glass because it really doesn't need it. But what I am going to do, because this is a brand new seal, what I find that sometimes these repairs, the glass actually, liquid get into the back of the glass and gets pretty messy. So what I'm going to do is use my UV adhesive right here, UV liquid, and I'm going to run it around the edges of this to do a liquid seal. Okay, so now We'll clean this off later, but I'm running this around the edges so that way you'll have a watertight seal. So I'm running the edges here all around, and I'm going to cure it in the UV chamber. Well, actually I'm going to use my laser to cure it this time, and then I'm going to clean it off with a razor since it's Gorilla Glass. It's not going to really hurt it. So now you got the seal all around. So now with my UV laser, I'm going to go ahead and hit the edges of it, as you can see here. Again, wear your glasses. Don't want to burn your cornea. Wear a red tinted glasses for this. Now what I'm doing is sealing it, running it around about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. That will create a watertight seal around the display. Okay. So now, after all that's clean, go ahead and touch the test. So test the touch. See, all the touch screen works. And now you've got pretty much a brand new Samsung Galaxy S3. What I did to review is I took the glass off, leaving only the film. Once all the glass comes off, you peel from the top down, working carefully. And then once the glass is in place, I use my UV seal, my UV liquid around the edges to make a permanent seal, and that's to prevent moisture from getting in. And then I use my pen, my light pen right here, my curing pen, curing stick to cure it. Use a razor just to shave off the excess dried liquid, and then just Windex it off, and that's it. This repair took me an hour and 20 minutes.